In this week's chapter of Bleach, we finally get to learn that miracles really do come true. Because believe it or not, Gerard Valkyrie, the massive giant of badassery, is still alive after fighting against Kenpachi, Byakuya Kuchiki, and frickin' Toshiro Hitsugaya, who just unleashed his mature Bankai attack. I cannot believe that this guy is still alive and has gone through this many transformation sequences. That being said, you all have to admit that the transformation in this week's episode was pretty damned awesome. I think my favorite thing about the transformation sequence is actually how it began, because at the very end of last week's chapter, after just having this huge assault from frickin' Toshiro Hitsugaya and Kenpachi, it all ended with Byakuya using his Bankai ability to send thousands of swords exploding right into Gerard Valkyrie's face, which was definitely going to kill him. I thought this was going to be the end of this character, and at the beginning of this chapter, his body is completely frozen, his head is gone, and his entire mass starts to crumble. But before it even hits the ground, suddenly, all of this light starts to appear and transform into this ethereal body, which takes the form of this massive angel with this really cool gladiatorial helmet. And as you can expect, Kenpachi, Byakuya, and Toshiro Hitsugaya are questioning, what the hell is going on? How do we even kill this guy? And they could have spent the rest of the chapter battling against him, but no, we actually get to go around to some of the other events that are going on in the final arc of Bleach. You guys remember frickin' Uryu Ishida fighting against Haschwalth? Yeah, they're still fighting, and they've been fighting for so long that it is now morning. And despite the fact that Haschwalth has not been defeated quite yet, and it looks like his powers are actually about to go back to the Quincy King, he still has a lot of confidence in being able to defeat Uryu. In fact, the final panel is him getting ready to launch a big attack right at his face, and who knows how that's going to end up, but come on guys, let's face it, Uryu Ishida, he's going to be just fine. He's got plot armor. And then, of course, we get to see the return of Ichigo Kurosaki, the main character of the series, as he makes his way up to the throne room of the Quincy King, getting ready to annihilate him with his cool sword abilities and with a little bit of help from Inoue Orihime, who looks like she might actually be pretty useful in this battle, and I have to say it is a long time coming, and they make that painfully clear in this week's chapter, as she reflects on all of the previous battles and things that they went through, where basically she was never able to help out Ichigo the way that she wanted to, but Ichigo is legitimately asking for her help, something that I think is really awesome. And then there's the Quincy King himself. There's a scene earlier in the chapter where he's having a dream of being attacked by Ichigo, where Ichigo just takes his sword and slams it right into his shoulder, and then he just suddenly wakes up and he gets all excited over the prospect of getting ready to have a big final battle with his Son of Darkness. It all really ends with Ichigo and Inoue finally arriving in the Quincy King's throne room, as he has that weird creepy eyes all over him and he's getting ready to throw down. It's a really great cliffhanger ending, and believe it or not, that's the whole chapter this week. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of Bleach? I really like this one, despite the fact that I am slightly annoyed by the fact that Gerard Valkyrie always manages to survive all of this really crazy stuff. I mean, really, how are they going to be able to defeat this guy? I mean, even after his entire body has crumbled and he's been decapitated, he still manages to come back even more powerful than ever. And I'm not sure if his final form is actually going to take like this ethereal look to it, if it's just going to be like pure energy, if it actually is going to have more detail to it, and they're just sort of like teasing what his final form is going to look like. Hell, I can't even really call this his final form. There is a possibility that someone else is just going to come in, decapitate his ass, and he's going to transform into something even more powerful. What I will say is, I like the fact that he's not being defeated so easily, despite the fact that he is just a big, giant character. We've seen characters like that in the Bleach series, and for the most part, they just seem to have a lot of blunt force, a lot of just extreme power, and then they just get taken out with a big, powerful attack. But Gerard Valkyrie always manages to keep kicking. He always comes back with some sort of brand new ability, and for him to shock 3 of the most powerful characters in the series, that's a pretty big deal. And I'm a little annoyed by the fact that we still haven't gotten back to Urahara and seen what his fate is quite yet. They really just sort of left that one like a couple of chapters ago. I think it was like a whole month that it ended with him getting ready to unleash his big final attack as he was fighting against Askin Naklavar, who's getting ready to poison and destroy everything in the vicinity, so they're definitely keeping that secret, and I didn't even expect that we were going to see anything with Ichigo this week, so that was a pleasant surprise, but really not all that much happened. This was another classic chapter of Bleach where you could read the whole thing in like a minute straight, because there's barely any dialogue, but the good news is the action that is there does look really nice, and a lot of the artwork looks really cool. I mean, even with Ichigo returning and Oreo Ishida, my favorite thing about this chapter was actually getting to see Gerard Valkyrie's new form. And again, it's conflicting for me, because I want the character to be defeated, but at the same time, I'm kind of anxious to see what some more of his final forms are going to look like, because they always manage to trump each other in what they look like. You always get some brand new armor, some brand new helmets, and all types of cool shit. So I cannot wait to see what he is truly going to evolve into, and I'm more interested to see how he's going to be defeated. It almost seems like they aren't going to be able to defeat him with blunt force, almost as if they're going to have to use some sort of sealing technique, a la something from Naruto. I'm not really sure how they're going to be able to bring this guy down. There has to be someone amongst the ranks of the Shinigami who has some sort of Zanpakuto, which should be able to take him down. I just can't figure out who that is going to be. And like I said, it is surprising, because you have three incredibly powerful characters going up against him, all using their Bankai and in a lot of extreme ways. But this dude just keeps coming back for more. Definitely one of the coolest villains that I have seen from the entire series, and one of my absolute favorite Quincy characters that I've seen from the series. He's no Master Masculine, but how are you going to top the luchador dude who can fire star beams? And now it's time to place your bets. Do you guys really think that Inoue is going to be very helpful in this battle? Do you really think that she's going to be able to help Ichigo in this final fight against the final villain of the Bleach series? Or do you think she's just going to get taken out real quick and it's going to be up just to Ichigo to take him down? I'd really like to hope that she is going to be helpful, but I have the feeling that she's probably going to end up getting pushed to the side. But hey, at least she's not going to be a damsel in distress. Yet. So my prediction for the next week's chapter of Bleach is, who knows what the hell is going to happen. This is a series that tends to jump around to a lot of different story points. There's still a lot of loose threads in this final arc, and even though Ichigo has just arrived in the throne room of the Quincy King, I still don't think we're that close to the finale quite yet. There's still a lot of other little things, like, I want to see the return of the Fullbringer characters, who were teased at the very beginning of this arc, which started years ago at this point, and I know that they're going to show up eventually. There's still a lot of other Vizard characters that I would like to see again, a lot of the other Shinigami. I mean, there's just so much more promise for what they can do for the final arc of Bleach. It just still tends to go all over the place and do whatever it wants, but that doesn't necessarily make it bad. It's still an entertaining read. I mean, it's not Shakespeare or anything, it's frickin' Bleach. Just take it for what it is, as a fun, action-packed manga series, and you'll end up really enjoying it. So, I'm going to give this week's chapter right here a 4 out of 5. I really did like the developments in this chapter, and I was expected to be really disappointed, especially when Gerard Valkyrie was coming back, but I cannot wait to see what the miracle is going to bring to the table. So 4 out of 5 from me, a pretty damn good chapter of Bleach, but I want to hear from you guys. Make sure to tell me what you thought about this week's chapter of Bleach in the comment sections below. Are you annoyed by the fact that Gerard Valkyrie has not been defeated? How are they going to be able to take this guy down? And what's going to happen in the battle between Ichigo and the Quincy King? Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching this review. I really appreciate it. If you guys would like to help out the channel, please share this video review with all of your friends. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews, as well as our weekly podcast show. It's pretty damned awesome. You guys can also follow us on social media. Make sure to check out all that stuff in the description box below. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.